We're live.
Good afternoon, you beautiful people. Welcome to episode 116 of Pillar Talk. This episode is brought to you by Flashback Antiques and Crafts. We got Ruthless Pro Wrestling, Monroe Sport Center, and Mugsy's Sports Grill and Bar. With no further ado, we got a guest to introduce to you today. We got Mr. Brok Weaver, professional MMA killer. What's up, brother? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's up, man? Brok Chata Tuska Weaver, the nickname. Chata Tuska stands for Choctaw Warrior or Red Warrior. Proud native of the Mobile Choctaw band. We're located out of Alabama, about 40 miles north of Mobile.
Okay.
Way off in the woods, man. Down dirt roads, no street lights, one gas station, one bank. I mean, everything else is dirt roads. And we got this little facility here. I'm actually about to get a workout in after I talk to y'all. This is actually the first place since, getting to know me. This is the first place I ever trained at. Was this weight room 15 years ago. This place started my MMA career. I was just here working out, 15-year-old kid, losing fights, getting picked on at school. And I had an older cousin. He was a pro boxer, pro MMA fighter at the time. He was in here working at the same time. He walked up to me, saw me with a black eye, and was like, yo, why are you lifting weights? You ain't even hit puberty yet. You got a black eye. You've been getting picked on. You've been getting beat up. You need to learn how to fight. Come in this room right here. We had some puzzle mats about right there at the time. Not no big enough to even have one person on, really. And he got down there and showed me some triangle chokes, a couple arm bars, and proper way to do chokes and stuff. And I kind of instantly fell in love with it. Went home that night, walked inside, and my grandpa's huge pro wrestling fan. Rest in peace. He just passed away. Best friend, biggest fan of all time. I'm biggest supporter. He was sitting there usually watching wrestling. And I walk in and he was watching UFC. I think it was Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz. And I was like, dang, I just practiced that. And then I walk in and I'm watching it for the first time. I'm like, something, maybe it's the universe talking to me. Maybe it's the creator, something. And I looked at him. I told my grandpa, and I was just kind of joking at the time, but I knew I was going to keep training. I said, I'm going to be in the UFC one day. And he just looked at me and smiled. And he's like, you better know what you're doing when you get in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And 15 years later, I finally made it to the UFC. Didn't have a great start in the UFC. Some things happened. Just wasn't my time right then, but I'm on a 2-fight win streak right now. And I ain't going to say what I got next yet, because we're keeping it on the hush. But, hopefully making my way back.
How many fights did you have in the UFC?
3. I went 1 and 2. Yeah, I lost my last 2.
Okay. So you won.
Now
your first one?
I gotta say real quick, dude. I rooted for you every time you got into that octagon, and when you took that knee to the face, it crushed me. Obviously, it crushed you too. But like I was screaming at the TV, no. I really was, man.
That was the thing is I didn't even feel it, but the after headache of that concussion was like I literally that night I thought my brain was about to like literally explode out of my head all night. Like took so much ibuprofen and stuff and goody powders, could not stop the headache. So I know that was like the first serious concussion. I don't know, that bad. I definitely should have went to the hospital, and they tried to get me to go to the hospital, but I didn't. And ever since that knee, I have felt punches, even in sparring. And I used to not feel no punches. I used to just have like a solid chin, man. And ever since that, I feel like I actually feel punches now. Like they hurt. So your brain definitely, I don't care what anybody says, it decreases as long as the more blows you take to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, T-Rup here is not allowed to take any more blows to his head.
Yeah, I wrecked a motorcycle, got a brain injury, didn't wear a helmet, stupid shit, you know.
Yeah. Damn.
It's funny because you said your grandpa was a giant pro wrestling fan and he just watched it all the time. My grandpa did too. So was he your biggest motivation to start doing that because he wanted to see you do great in the MMA?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was by far biggest fan, biggest support, biggest critic too. I mean when I won, it's all good. When I lost,
Mhm.
he let me have it. He knew how to like uh reverse psychology, motivate in a way.
Right.
He teased me, but it was with love. But he knew that him teasing me, I ain't gonna slack around and let I gotta hurry and win. I gotta hurry and get back in the gym. I gotta hurry up, get back to training, level up, get better, get back in there and get a win. So this man stopped teasing me every day, because I lived with them. They raised me, so I'm with them every day, and walking around with a black eye, and know another dude, and your papa just sitting there teasing you about it or something.
Yeah.
I gotta get that over with. I don't see how a lot of people, I've always, if I took a break, like I'm taking a break right now because I'm on 2-fight win streak, got my gym going, it's growing. I opened up a gym around here, and I've been lifting, I've been bulking, I've been trying to I'm tired of cutting to 155. I felt like that was a lot of my problem in the UFC. I walk around at 185, 190ish, and I always cutting to 55. And the late notice and the short notice, I used to could do it when I was younger, but I'm 30 now, and it's just for some reason getting a lot harder. So I'm trying to become a real 170, before I get back in there, and that's what I've kind of been doing on my off season. But yeah, man, wrestling and my pawpaw definitely, was a huge motivation in my life, in my career.
What were some of the hardest adversities you had to overcome to achieve your goal of getting into the UFC?
Uh, myself. I
Oh,
mean,
your biggest you're your own self's biggest critic. You're the one that's oh
you're
man.
your own worst enemy, man.
Yep.
I'm a man, and you know, get definitely starting to get that like that local fame, and that starts sinking in. You start going out to these bars, you start partying, these women, throwing themselves at you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's hard to not want to do every freaking night. And
Right.
if you do that 3 to 4 times a week and try to train and fight these high level guys, it ain't gonna work because these guys that are high level most of the time are not doing that.
Oh
And if
yeah.
you start doing that, it's gonna catch up with you. And it did catch up with me. So like when I, on and off in my career, I'd go on a 8-fight win streak and for some reason slack, get back in get back in the party scene a little bit, here and there, boom, women, alcohol, addictions, I mean, lust, all of it wears on you as a professional fighter. I mean, when you look at that on fight night, every fighter, and I've talked to plenty, and I just know, we look at ourselves in the mirror, in the bathroom, in the bathroom of the hotel, after we get out of the shower, before we go to the venue and fight. We look at ourselves, and if you are not happy with that man in the mirror on fight night, and you know that you didn't give this training camp 100%, or you gave it 85 or 75 because you snuck around and you went out this night, or you snuck around and stayed up too late this night, or you cheated on your diet too much, here and there, and you had to cut this extra weight, or you broke, like you're gonna not you don't even you're gonna be like, I don't deserve this thing. I don't deserve this tonight. And if you get in there and with another guy that's high level and you thinking you don't really deserve this, you're not gonna be able to fight when the going gets tough. You're gonna look for an easy way out,
Mm-hmm.
and just that is what I've seen that I battled mostly in my career. But when I gave it everything I had, 100%, the training count was on, my P's and Q's with everything. I mean, I think I'm undefeated. I don't think I ever lost. The only times I ever lost is when I slacked,
Right.
and I when I felt like I got to the UFC, I was like, for some reason, I was just like a lot of weight was off my shoulders, so I felt like I kind of took a break, and then COVID hit, right when I made it in the UFC. Like right after I got a legal need, COVID hit. So I didn't, and the UFC was shut down for 3 months, and we didn't really know when it was going to open back up. They was talking about in a year it was going to open up. Then 3 months later it opens up, and they want me to fight on the first card back off COVID at the UFC Apex. So I'm like, damn, I'm 188 pounds. You want me to make 155 in 7 days?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna do it because I'm bored and I'm at home trapped in the woods. So let's go, which is not a smart idea.
Right. And I got a lot of friends that come up to me because they want to get professional MMA. They think they can fight. And I tell them, and I'm glad that you said it. I tell them it's not only about how you can fight or knowing what to do when somebody's grabbing you up. You were just talking about your mental health is the most important thing. If you look in that mirror and you feel some type of way about yourself, bro, it's gonna be foggy. You're gonna be in that ring thinking about other bullshit when you should be thinking about that guy punching you.
It's 85% mental, bro.
Yeah.
Everything.
How I'm the weight cutting that is, it freaks me out because some people drop 40 pounds in fucking 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. And I just want to know how do you do that? Like you say, you walk around 180, you fought at 155. So when does that start? What do you got to do, and how do you do that?
So usually want to get a fight about at least 6 to 8 weeks out. So it gives you time to get your body under control, your weight cut under control. Make sure you got a good training camp. Sometimes it ain't like that, but most time you dream of 6 to 8 weeks out properly training for an opponent high level. If I'm at like 188 out of shape, what I'll do sometimes is a 3-day fast to start it off. Okay. I'll just only drink liquids. I will not eat nothing solid for 3 days, and I'll train on top of that. That'll shock my body and make me drop usually about 12 to 15 pounds off the rip. Okay. So then I'm dropping from 188 to about 175, 174, and then I do a intermediate fasting diet after that. Then I'll only eat twice. So I'll wake up and train in the mornings or whatever, and I'll eat at 2, a big carb meal, anything. I go eat a whole pizza if I wanted to, and then rest and then train later on that night, and then eat about 9 or 10 o'clock. Now, intermittent fasting doesn't work perfect with everybody. You got to give it time to start working. It only starts working really after about 8 days in. A lot of people get hungry headaches. They get frustrated. They'll quit on it 5 or 6 days in. We don't see no results, but it really has to shock your body. It has to get your body used to it. And then once it does, it hits a rotation, a routine. You start shredding weight fast. I mean, I'll go from anywhere intermediate. Probably after that, 7 or 8 days, maybe a week or two, I'll be hopefully trying to walk around at 170, the highest. Waking up. Okay. And then a week of the fight, we do what we call a water load, a water sodium load. So 6 days out, 2 gallons of water. 5 days out, 2 gallons of water. 4 days out, 2 gallons of water. Adding salt to the food, so what you're trying to do is stack a lot of water in your body and trick your body. And then 3 days out, a gallon, and then 2 days out, half a gallon, and then a day out, a quarter a gallon, and then 24 hours, nothing, no water, nothing at all, and getting a sauna, Abilene on, trash bags, and trying to sweat out. You're not trying to sweat out no more than 8 healthy. Okay. Sometimes if like I said, if you mess up, you cheat. I have been known to have a perfect diet all the way down to like 3 days before, bro. And just be like, my grandma would just like cook a freaking feast, and I'll try my best to just stay away from the house, and I'll go at 12 o'clock and at the worst time and just mentally break and just eat every fucking thing and gain 8 fucking pounds and then have to lose that the next day. Like, I have been known to do that. And when I did that, it just was a horrible idea. I was in the sauna, sweating so much weight, I was just miserable. But I mean, it comes down to, just good dieting making sure you sweat every day. Fasting too. If you do have a cheat meal, you're gonna have to fast for 2 days. You're just gonna have to. Fasting is a big key. What I found out in our diet, and then I also looked up, the paleo diet and all that. Like, it was meant to fast and stuff. Is what our ancestors did. They would go out and hunt, and the villagers, when the hunters were out hunting 2 or 3 days, they might not have nothing to eat, so their bodies had to fast. And your bodies adapt and become stronger when you fast, because it's living off your good fats that your body's already stored up. So it's a science, man. And it is the fight itself alone, and it is mental. It is all mental. To stop your stomach when you got to fight your stomach every day. You got to fight these people every day.
Yep.
This is a sport. They say 1% of the world do what I do, MMA, and only 1% of that 1% make it to the big league.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. Now let's when do you usually train? Like during the day, during nighttime? What is it like when do you go the hardest, we'll call it?
In the evenings, in the evening classes. Now, the mornings, like if I'm down at American Top Team training with those guys in Coconut Creek with, Poirier and Masvidal and all them top level guys at ATT, their hard classes in the morning. But when I'm here and I'm coaching and I'm at my gym, my hard classes at night. But when I'm getting ready for my camps, that's usually where I go. If I get ready for my future fight, I might try out the Lab in Arizona and Tim Welch. Me and him become pretty cool. He's Sugar Sean O'Malley's head coach. Might go down and train with them guys in Arizona and Phoenix soon. So check them out. But I'm pretty sure like all the top level gyms, they're hard classes in the morning, and then all you low level kind of gyms, hard classes at night.
The reason I ask is because I heard something about Floyd Mayweather trains mostly in the evening because that's when the fights are.
Yeah,
And
yeah. He
I was
actually trains at night at like 9, 10, like 10, 11 o'clock, because that's probably when he's gonna fight.
Yep.
Because he's always at the end, which on Showtime and HBO. Not bad, I got something in my throat.
You all right?
About 10:30, 11 o'clock is when he fights. So that's actually when he trains the hardest. But he probably trains 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, after every one of his fights, he goes outside and runs 5 miles. After every one of his fights.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Even when he wins, which he wins every time. So
yeah.
he goes out there before he goes, and he don't drink. He goes to the clubs, buys strippers, spends money, and drinks orange juice and cranberry juice, and then goes home. Probably trains again. Who knows?
Yeah. So, you said that you go on a liquid diet. Is it just water for 3 days, or do you like supplement vitamins and stuff into that too?
I'll take my daily vitamins that I take, and mostly water, a little bit of black coffee for the caffeine rush, for the the energy, and then if
Right.
I like on that second day, if I feel just like horrible, like depleted, that I need some sodium, I'll get like a ramen noodle, like those ramen noodles in the cup, and I'll warm those up, and I'll take the noodles out, throw them away, and I'll drink the sodium noodle juice, kind of like chicken broth, kind of,
Okay.
and I'll drink that on like the second day, just at nighttime, just to put something on my stomach so I can go to sleep.
Okay.
It'll give me some sodium to train for the next day and the last day, and it ain't gonna put no weight on me.
Okay.
Now, I know one thing you're proud of. You've already touched on it in your intro. Is your culture, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that and what makes you so proud?
So, I'm like I said, I'm the Mowas. Is the name of my tribe. We're a small band of Choctaw Indians in Alabama. Most of our Choctaw nations in Mississippi and Oklahoma. We're a state recognized tribe, still battling to be federal recognized. It's getting closer and closer to that time. We're we're finally starting to get some things in the role, and we're having more powwows now, and we're having some youth stuff going on, and the government is kind of finally starting to get around to. We were so small at this time, and we're still a very small tribe, about 1,200 of us, and I mean, do y'all even, like, just as, how to describe my tribe is very simple. Uh, I'm telling you, we're like a warrior race almost. I mean, everybody in my tribe just loved to fight. Was good athletes. Um, every one of them could probably fight better than me at the time. Like I said, I used to get beat up by everybody. I was smaller than everybody. That's kind of why I started training. My cousin just was like, "Hey man, you need to stop lifting weight. You need to learn how to fight. Lifting weights ain't gonna help you like that." And yeah, man. And I always kind of looked at us like Saiyans. I was a big Dragon Ball Z fan coming up, and I always kind of looked at us as like me and my clique of like 10 boys. Man, we were like the Z fighters. We were down to fight anywhere. Everybody was scared of us. We'd go to Mobile off the res, and everybody be like, "Man, those are the Mowas, man. They here to brawl." And most of the time, we were there to brawl. Women also drinking. But all that turns into brawling most of the time.
Yeah.
Definitely if you got some hot,
Every
yeah,
time.
every time. I mean, that's just a mix. You really can't avoid. Definitely if you got some hot-headed Indians out there just looking to kill somebody, So I feel like a lot of my people could have took this sport that I'm in, or any sport. I got boys, man, that could have made it to the NBA. They could have made it to there. I mean, anywhere they wanted to go. But the partying, the women, kids, something got them. I'm 30 years old, no kids. Been trying to have kids my whole life, just ain't happened yet. Just ain't happened yet. So, it's just whenever that happens, it's gonna happen. But maybe if I'd have had kids, I would have made it as far as I made it because, that's kind of what stopped a lot of my people. But I mean, and just mentality too. I mean, I've seen a lot of them just be there, have the talent, but just didn't have the hard work, just didn't have dedication. It's something that I took. I fell in love with it, and I always wanted to be famous at something. I always wanted to be good and make it at something. I was too small for football. I was too small for basketball. Couldn't hit the baseball for shit. So, I was like, shit, I'm fighting. I'm kind of getting beat up every time, but I ain't scared to take an ass whooping, And that's something in fighting you can't teach. You can't teach heart. You can't teach toughness. Those are things that just are here. So I just that kind of sums up my tribe. I mean, we're we're very passionate people. A lot of our culture is lost. A lot. I'll be traveling around. There's a lot of reservations, and they're more culture. They're more tied to their culture than us. I think maybe because our tribe got smalled out so much and our land got took that Christianity come in and everything like that. And I ain't saying nothing to get Christianity. It's just a lot of mixture stuff come in and confuse my people, and our background isn't as strong as it should be, and that's maybe one reason we haven't been federal recognized as soon as it has. So
So we had somebody on this show that had lots of great things to say about you one day. Bobo.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he just talked you up and it had nothing but good things to say about you, man. How was
Yeah.
your relationship with him? And
So Bobo, the pro fighter that started me, and that's I told you that he's my cousin. He's the one that taught me. He said, you need to learn how to fight. I'll teach you how to fight. Used to be one of Bobo's main training partners. And when Bobo was competing a lot back in the day, and I used to go to the smokers where they would have some fights at the gym, and I'd watch Bobo, bang it out with people like that. I was 15, 16 years old, just like, watching him in fights and stuff, in tough man contests and stuff. So he retired a few years after I started and really got into it. And I happened to be on I was a scaffold builder. I think 2018, I had come off and I was on an 8-fight win streak and just took a break. Just needed a break. got married and was getting things settled at the house and fight. Like I said, man, my head wasn't there, and I knew it and I recognized it. Even though I was on a 6 fight. Yeah, I was on a 6 fight win streak. I just kind of burnt out, So I was like, I'm not gonna fight and mess up my win streak right now. I'm gonna get my head right, And when I get that drive back, and I got the mental focus to give everything I got, every camp. Right now, I'm gonna take a little break. So I took a little break. Got to get a construction job or whatever because I don't even got a diploma. And went out to what was that place? Oh yeah, plant called Ebonic, and Bobo was working there full time. I think he was maintenance. Some of the guys, everybody know me around there. The local fame. Everybody, hey man, Bobo works here. I was like, oh, for real?
Plug me in, Josh. Plug me in. My shit went out. My sound. Are you muted?
Hello?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. All right.
Yeah. Somebody was calling me.
Okay.
One of the people with Island Fights. I'm the matchmaker there tonight, so I got to be there in a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
Where was I at? I was
meeting Bobo in the company.
Yeah, so Bobo, me and him, I think I was leaving work. He was coming in for night shift. We walked by each other. Yo, what's up? Ain't seen you in forever, man. Ain't seen you since you was a kid. Real proud of what you've been doing, Brok, man. Keep it up. I was like, look, I got a bare knuckle boxing fight coming up against Joe Riggs. And I took that fight on like a 2 or 3 week notice. I just wanted to fight a legend, And I was like, I'm gonna talk. Why don't you do that, man? You like the box when you're coming back? He's like, oh man, I don't know, man. I'm working, blah blah blah. I was like, look, man, I'm gonna hit you up. You need to get in the gym. I can get you with bare knuckle boxing. You need to start back. He's like, okay. And I guess he thought on it. He hit me up a couple days on Facebook. Yo, I think I'm gonna start back training. I think I'm gonna take you up on that bare knuckle thing. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, Bobo's in bare knuckle, man. Killing it.
Yeah,
the Bible brawler.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's talk about your gym. The Brok Weaver Boxing and Big J Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, like I said, I've started many gyms on the reservation kind of through my career. While I'm home, I'm not away. I'll do it for the kids. Never really asked for much money. Kind of always had like I used to train kids here in this gym where I started. Next door at this old cafeteria I had met, but I just never couldn't keep it going because if you're not getting paid for something and then you're still like fighting yourself, you can't really focus on something so much and give it your all. So, it just kind of collapsed every time. Like I could never keep nothing really going good. I would get a good solid kid team up, good solid fighters going. And then, and then I'm having to worry about myself and this and that, and it'll fade away. If nobody's paying, nobody takes something serious. And it took me for a while to figure out that, I'm trying to be good hearted, let everything kind of be free and everybody, come train for free and let's all help each other. But if, like I said, if you ain't paying for nothing and you ain't really in love with it, it ain't gonna stick. Even when you ain't in love with it. But if you're paying a membership, you're gonna at least show up once or twice a week, right?
Right.
Just to get your money's worth. If it's coming out,
you kind of found that out too. Throwing events, you can have a 4-time Stanley Cup champion come out for autographs for free, and nobody will show up. But if you sell tickets, everybody will be there.
Exactly. If somebody pays for something, they're gonna show up eventually a little bit,
Yep.
But if they ain't paying for it, they ain't gonna show up.
It's not that big of a deal. I didn't pay.
Not that big of a deal. I'll show up once a month. No. So. Big J, rest in peace, is actually deceased. I met him. He died back in August. I moved home in August, and he was a brown belt, about to be a black belt on Lord Irvin, which is a famous black belt in the game. He he had a Big J Jiu-Jitsu gym in Jackson, which is like 20 miles north of my reservation, and he I met him a couple times, and while I was out of town, I would send some of my amateur fighters to his gym to train, to just to stay in shape, to stay kind of okay while I'm gone until I come back, and can focus on them. And me and him always kind of talked about opening up a gym, maybe, and kind of affiliation with each other, maybe. And well, he like I said, he passed away, and his wife and them were about to shut the building down. And I just come to him, hey man, let's throw my name on it. I'll still honor Big J and keep his name in the Big J. I'm a 4th stripe brown belt myself, about to get my black belt in jiu-jitsu. I could run classes here. My name will bring people in, and Jackson is kind of a up the city of the area. So, everybody will pay. It'll keep, so right now when I come in, I think we had 6 or 7 members. We're at 43 now. And that was from September to now, so boom, my name did kind of bring in some people. It's 43 people paying, and it's a summertime. I mean, got kids, got a wrestling team, jiu-jitsu, got MMA fighters, got a kid who won 2 belts. Got a kid, he's 3-1. He's fighting next weekend here in Mobile. He's very talented. So yeah, man, the gym's going pretty good. That's kind of where that's kind of why I've been taking a break. I've still been sharpening up my skills, lifting weights, bulking up so I ain't got to cut down to 155 and I can be a real 170. Focusing on getting my black belt. I mean, many things, and hopefully I open up be another gym down the road, So yeah, the gym's going.
How is it developing this young talent? How does it make you feel?
It's great, and then it's heartbreaking because you get I've always found myself I get some young talent in, definitely, like I said, from my tribe. Everybody wants to try it out.
Right.
Come train with me. Learn from me. Okay, come on. And these kids be so talented, man. I'm talking way more talented than I was. And you get them going good. You get them a 1 or 2 fights in, and they do great. And then they just don't show up no more. They're just like,
Just
hey,
wasn't
where
for
you at?
them, eh? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, where you at? Oh man, I'm coming. Don't see them no more. I put all this hard work, all this time in with them, all this, holding mitts and showing up to the gym when I, taking out my time, showing up to the gym when I ain't have to, staying later than I ain't have to for them, matching their fights right, just all this stuff. And then they stop coming, and I'm just like, why? Like, maybe because of a girl you broke up? Boo. That's most of the time. I hate excuses. I'm like, you're a pussy. I have, like I said, I've had my share, of that time, and when I had breakups, it would make me want to quit. It would make me
Go harder.
it made me want to go harder because I want to show out for her,
Mhm.
or like, yo, look, this is, you gonna fall out with me because of this. Look what I just did. I just beat this dude to death,
Yep.
Like, it made me want to go punch the bag, for hours, just boom, 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 boom. And I'm punching the bag. I'm sharpening my skills. I ain't in the bed crying, boo hoo, this, No, it's time to go run. Let's go run that out of you. If your heart's hurting, I'm a man. I've had my heart broke. I'm gonna go run 5 miles. I'm gonna go hit the bag. Then it's over with after I'm huffing and puffing.
Yep.
Now I'm ready to go, and I can go sleep good.
You start focusing on something else. You ain't worried about that heartbreak so much.
Exactly. And that's what happens to a lot of these young talent these days, man. This young generation is soft. I tell my guy, I have this group snap with him on there, and the dude was like, he wrote on, and I was like, yo, you showing up for morning? Who's all showing up for morning in the spar? And he's like, oh man, if you can make it at 12, I can be there. I'm like, no, it's 9 o'clock. He's like, well, I'll get off at 5:30. I was like, okay, it's a 30-minute drive to the gym. You can sleep in the gym for an hour and a half. You can wake up and you can train. Do you really want this? I was like, because I used to live in Miami. I'd work from 5 to 5 in the morning and then be at MMA Masters with killers at 8:30, sleeping in the parking lot in my car from 8:30 to 12:30, 4 hours of training, go home, go to sleep till 5, and do that all over again at a nightclub, all over. Like, and living with Brazilians on a mat with a little cover that I can't even talk to because they don't speak the same language as me for 5 years. I'm like, and I never once, I don't know why. I'm just not many people, I don't know. I've met a lot of people in the game that just don't have the mentality that I've had. I never once thought about quitting. You know, like every now and then you need a break, recollect yourself. But I was like, I'm going to be back. I'm not quitting. I never thought about it. Don't care how hard it was. Didn't care what I was going through, what breakup, what crisis in life, death in the family. You know, I just never thought about it. You know, injuries, both my knees tore, you know, needed surgery, you know, thumb, hand broke. Never thought about quitting. Don't know what. And I was never the best guy, never the best talent. You know, I just worked hard and I didn't stop. That was it. That's the key to any of my success was just I didn't stop.
And how did you keep mentally strong? Like what were some techniques or what were some things you used to keep mentally strong through the adversity of losing, whatever it is, whether it was a match or hurt somebody in your life?
Prayer. You know, I feel like I always prayed. If I was praying to God or Creator, as Christian for a long, I don't really know what I am, but I know there's a higher being, you know, and I'd always say a prayer at night. I didn't care what I did. I didn't care what kind of bad stuff and I never really did that bad of a stuff, but you know what I mean, you know, just being in a bad moment in life or a bad time, 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, something like that, you know, and just prayer and, you know, staying humble, man, you know, telling God, no, look, uh, don't let me think I'm more than what I am. You know what I mean? Just, I know I'm a nobody and I'm just trying to work hard every day to become somebody. And I know if I quit, I know what I'll do. You know, I know if I ain't got my mind occupied on something, I'm occupied on something bad, probably. You know, we're all we're all thinking bad thoughts at all times, and if you occupy those bad thoughts more than you occupy something good, then what's gonna happen? Something bad. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sheriff now, a part-time sheriff, and I work at the jail sometimes, and I talk to these guys sometimes, you know, and I tell these guys, look at me, man. You know, I look like y'all. I look like I should be in here with y'all. I don't look like I should have a badge on. I was like, but and there were times that I did stuff that I should have got caught and been in there. I just was lucky. You know, God would just maybe me praying all the time. Creator just looking out for me. You know, I should have been in jail or hell or wherever, you know, dead, just in the ground, you know. But I got lucky, man, or blessed, you know. I just got blessed at the time. And I tell these guys, you know, um, they say, how'd you stay out of here? You know, and I just tell them the simple stuff is I occupied myself with something positive more than I did something negative.
You
You know,
always kept that goal in your mind. You never lost that goal.
yeah,
That's the big thing. You never put that down. Even when
never,
you said you took a break, you were still thinking about it.
oh
You
yeah,
were, I'm gonna come back and be ready. You're probably thinking about it every fucking day.
every day.
Every day you weren't doing it and they're taking your break or whatever. You were still
Yep.
thinking about it. You were still thinking about how to better yourself. And sometimes like the praying is I do a different, I guess, sort of praying. I literally open myself up like a book and I tell everybody what adversities.
Yeah,
I tell everybody everything I'm feeling, and that's my sort. And I feel like praying in that same sense is you at least are not just thinking on it and stewing it in your head. You're at
yeah,
least letting it out a little bit and telling somebody. You're
yeah,
telling somebody what you're going through, and then you're like, okay, now I kind of know how to figure it out because now it was talked out loud and it's not just brewing in my head.
yeah.
That I guess that's
Exactly.
my
Yeah, I
process.
feel that. I feel it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Just like I
Oh,
said, I just open up, man, and just say whatever kind of on my mind at the time and just ask to be a better person, ask to think smarter and have a clearer head, no matter what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't feel it or not, it's gonna help you just opening up to yourself and opening up, and just saying it
Like I
out
said,
loud.
sometimes I don't even know what sometimes I don't even know what I'm praying to, or if anything hears me. But
Yep.
I just feel like I can't go to sleep without at least opening up and speaking on what I know is wrong, and we know what's bad is going on, and just trying to mentor this life, career, everything's mental. I mean, you just look at that shooting that just happened in Texas, where this kid, killed them 23 kids, like 18-year-old kid go get some AKs and just kill his grandmother and just walk in there and kill all these kids. I mean, that kid was battling some mental illness. They said he was very quiet. He didn't talk to nobody. He was very rude to women. He was getting teased on for like wearing eyeliner and stuff at school. Like he probably didn't have no friends. I mean,
and that's the part nobody really
he
wants
probably,
to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't open up to nobody. He just kept all that in, and then one day he just like, fuck it.
Yep.
They're gonna know me today.
Yep.
Fuck this. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna make sure I'm known. Now everybody knows Salvador Ramos for the rest of history. They're gonna know him as being a very evil kid, but something could have happened. It could have got that kid some help. Somebody's got to recognize at home when you got a kid living with you and he's just in his room, just dark, just not talking to nobody, not having no friends. Like, hey man, we gotta get you some friends. We gotta go talk to somebody. We need to open up. Like, talk to us. Like, what's wrong? Why are you so depressed?
Lack of hope and opportunity, usually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like nobody's there to help.
Yeah, like my little brother. I mean, he's like, he's 21 years old. He's like a freaking star in Super Smash Brothers. He travels around the country and plays these tournaments, but that's all he does. He just sits up in his room. He's got like a couple friends, a handful of them from the game. But I'm like, man, we ain't even got to drive. Like, yo, we gotta at least work out. We gotta do something, other than play the game and be lonely. We need to, find another ambition, because what if you don't, you can only go so far with playing the game, and I can tell my little brother's is having mental issues sometimes, and maybe, illness creeping up on him. Like signs is like they get mad real quick over nothing. They spaz out real fast. Like, I mean, that's just signs, so I try to sit there and talk to him and help him and play the game with him or something, and just be there for him, because I don't want him to snap,
Yep.
and be like, man, I'm out for work one day. Hey, your little brother killed so-and-so, just spazzed out. Like, dang, like, I could have talked to him, which I do. I make sure I do. I ask him, is he okay? Is his head okay? I mean, it's just telltale signs, and I feel like people can be there for people, or try to help them, that's why I got the gym open too, man. I got some guys in there, they're quiet guys, but in the gym, they're a lot. They said they're a lot more open. They feel like they really have a family there, and that's why I always say, if people are battling depression or anything, and I've talked to a lot of people that battle depression that's in the gym, they say, man, come into the gym, whatever they do, if they're just walking on the treadmill, it freaking helps the mentality. It just feels like you went to the gym. You might not do that much shit that day after that, but at least you went to the gym and busted a sweat.
You feel a little bit accomplished.
You feel a little accomplishment. A little accomplishment can go a long way in mental health.
Mm-hmm. And that's my battle with mental health. Is that was what I was struggling to find when I was starting to battle that, and now I'm trying to take what I've learned from controlling my own mental health, my own PTSD.
Yeah.
I'm trying to project that onto other people and trying to help, because you realize nobody knows there's a problem until it's way too late, until the kid goes to school and does something crazy like that, or anything like that, kills themselves or anything, then you're like, man, maybe I could have helped that kid.
Like his parents, that kid's parents said he never showed any signs like that. He was just a quiet kid, but you're not talking to him. I mean, they're feeling you gotta just, you can't just let them just be shut up in like that and so quiet, so distant. Everybody needs a friend. I don't give a freak who you are.
Yes.
People need friends. I mean, it's
especially teenagers, especially young teenage boys, because teenagers are so impressionable, and that's where if you give a kid on the street an opportunity and hope, that changes his life forever.
Yeah. Yep.
You give him something to work for, and maybe that's something like you, for instance, your cousin come up to you, hey man, why are you all beat up, bro, lifting weights? Like, what do you think that's going to do? You need to learn how to fight. You need to learn how to defend yourself.
And at that time, I felt like I was mentally depressed. I'm walking around school with a big black eye, then took a couple butt whoopings in front of everybody, and I'm just like, dang, and I didn't even.
You said what now? Sorry, you muted again. Hit the mute button again. No. There it is.
Is it?
I hear something.
There you go.
My boss is blowing me up.
I want one more. Let's get into one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Tell us about the game bred experience and your bare knuckle MMA experience, because that's something that I think is so cool. Bare knuckle MMA.
Yeah. So the man that's calling me right now, my boss, is like my godfather in the game, Dean Toole. This man's like, he runs every organization just about, at least match makes for everybody, for game bred, for bare knuckle, he's Island Fights creator. He's Icon, George Masvidal's Icon, all that. He's just a secret guy in the shadows behind pretty much every organization there is around this area. Hits me up, hey man, and he's like, he sets up on my fights. I'm at ATT training, calls me, hey, you're bare knuckling in 2.5 weeks MMA. I was like, huh? He's like, you're bare knuckling, co-main event under Jason. You and Jason's fighting in Biloxi. He's gonna fight the main event against Crazy Horse. You're gonna fight the co-main against somebody. I ain't found him yet. I was like, okay, all right, let's go. Bare knuckle MMA, be the first one to ever do it legally in the States. Let's go. He's like, okay, found me opponent. Well, I had 4 opponents switch. They didn't find me opponent till like 4 days before the fight. Cliff Wright, old Bellator veteran. First fight back home. Mississippi's very close. All my tribe always goes to Mississippi to watch me fight. First fight close, been probably 5 years. Had probably 150 of the tribe there. 150 Moas is like 1,000 stampeding Vikings, coming to raid a freaking village. I'm telling you about hollering, screaming, just crazy. My walkout was epic, and I fight. My favorite part about the fight, everybody asks, I'm like, the walkout, fuck the fight. I like to walk out, man. I got to have that stardom, coming from my Pawpaw's WWE background, the charisma, the showsman, the speaking after, the post-fight speeches, all that stuff premeditated, just watching wrestling growing up my whole life, in my Pawpaw. You gotta be a good fighter, but you gotta be a great entertainer these days. I mean, how did Conor McGregor become Conor McGregor? Yeah, he can fight. He got good time. He's got power, but that motherfucker can talk,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what people like. Why did George become a star? People like that badass, game bred personality, speaking. He does talking shit, and then he's the coolest motherfucker alive too.
Sell that fight.
You got to sell that fight. Why is Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor and George all on losing streaks right now, but they still the best ticket seller?
Mm-hmm. Because they talk shit.
Because they talk shit. Exactly. People love that.
Diaz smacks motherfuckers in the ring.
Yeah, he'll slap the shit out of you.
Hey, apparently we don't got to get into it, but George will slap a motherfucker anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, George will knock your damn tooth out.
That dude's been doing it forever too. He's been fucking
Yeah.
backyard brawling and shit, bro.
Yep. Yeah, man, he's the coolest, most humble, coolest dude I've ever trained with. You know,
All right.
and got to know.
All right, man. We're gonna cut this a little short because I know you're busy. You got a lot of shit to do. Can you tell us everywhere to plug yourself in at? And then I got another question for you.
Yeah, you can find me at Instagram, Brok Weaver UFC, and everybody's telling me to change that, but it's kind of hard to change your name on Instagram. And why change it when I'm just gonna be back in there one day soon?
Oh,
So to all you motherfuckers, I ain't changed my name. I'm gonna be back. So shut the hell up. Brok Weaver UFC on Instagram, Brok Chata Tuska Weaver on Facebook, B Weaver UFC on Twitter, and Rock Weave on Snapchat if you want to follow my journey.
Ooh. And then the Brok Weaver Boxing and Big J Jiu-Jitsu, that gym. Make sure you
follow my
check
gym. You can follow my gym too. Brok Weaver and Big J Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook.
I got one more question for you before we get out. If you had one last statement to say to the world, what are you saying?
One last statement to the world. That's a good one. I've all the podcasts. That's probably the most serious one I've ever been asked at the end. You know, it's usually something funny, but that's pretty serious. But one last statement to say to the world. Damn, that is. I feel like I gotta. I would have to think on that. But I don't know. Maybe something like probably our motherfucking toast. You know, everybody's Mowas are famous for this one toast. And if I had one more thing to say, and just for all my people, and I was like about to die right then, and they just slung a fucking microphone in my hand, you know, it'd be like, if this was an ocean and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom and never come up. But this ain't ocean, and I ain't a duck. I'm a badass Mowa, and I don't give a fuck.
Whoa, I like that, dude.
I love that.
I like that. So thank you so much for coming on, bro. I hope your boss don't yell at you too bad for us keeping you up.
Nah, they probably mad because I ain't there yet.
Yeah. Oh man.
Probably working out. They trying to FaceTime me.
Appreciate you for taking the time out to talk with us, and good luck with everything you have coming on in the future. And hopefully this isn't the last time we talk.
Yep. Y'all stay tuned, man.
You on the UFC, brother.
Yep, I'll be back for sure.
All right.
Don't know when, but I know I will.
All right, guys. That's it for episode 116 of Pillar Talk. Have a great day. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much, Brok.
Yep. Thank y'all.
Brought to you by Brain Jerk. Fuck yeah.
I'm with my people, man. I'm with the gang.